I am here with Gary, and I told you a little bit about what I wanted to talk about today. Um,
You did tell me what I'm going to talk about. You're right. You just
That's
said,
what I do. I
Yeah,
tell
know.
you what you're going to talk about.
Talk about this.
If I ask, you're going to think about it. So I just tell you. It's easier. And I like surprises. I didn't surprise you this time.
I just
though.
think you just like telling people what to do, but that's okay.
I
Let's
just
just
like
get.
telling you what to do.
Oh, that's all right. I'm good with that.
So actually, this line was inspired by Carmina, who is here. What does this say, Carmina? Read it.
You are on stage.
Yes, all the time.
All right.
And this is because as the boss, you are always on stage. The second you walk in that door, you're on stage. So how does that affect your day-to-day challenges, your team members?
Okay. Yeah. So I think that some bosses think that they're like regular employees. They just have a job and they're just going out and doing their thing. But when you're in a bad mood, how many people, everyone wants to stay away because the boss is in a bad mood. When you're in a good mood, they want to be by you and say hi and get, get the conversations going and all the kudos and stuff. I think that as a boss, we got to be really cognizant on how we affect the people who are working for us, and not only while they're working for you now. You want them, if they leave 2 years after they've been working for you, they see you in a grocery store. They want to be, you want them to be able to walk up and say, "Hey, Rachel, how you doing?
Yeah.
Oh man, it was the best job I ever had when I worked for you," and that kind of stuff. It doesn't happen by accident. We have to kind of work at it. So even if we're in a bad mood, or we're not, and there's plenty of challenges in business, if you're the business owner, if you're the boss, but you have to be that positive influence because it trickles down.
It's like you walk in the door and you're like a thunderstorm. Like you're raining on everybody's parade is the line that I said. Like, don't rain on your people's parade.
Yeah, if you're in a bad mood, it's that way. But even as a boss, you got to understand, well, the conversation changes when you're in the room. Why? Because you're the boss, not because you may dominate the conversation. Some people do, but the idea is because the boss is here. Okay, well we can't talk about that, or let's talk about that later because the boss is in the room. You just have to understand how it can either positively or negatively affect the culture, right?
Well, it affects the culture, but I think we're with Carmina, who's a customer experience expert. So the other thing is it affects your customers, which affects your profit lines. If your team members are in a bad mood because of your mood, then they're going to be in a bad mood in front of your customers.
Right.
They're not going to be passionate about your business.
As the owner of the business or the boss, you can kind of control. If I'm in a bad mood, I'm talking to a customer. I might treat that customer really sweet.
Yeah.
And I might not treat my employees really sweet because I just don't, I don't want to say it this, but I may not value them as much as my customers, right?
Yeah.
Because my customers can leave and my employees, I'm paying them. But I think we have to be careful that when we're in a bad mood, our employees are kind of that way to the customers. Some of them don't have that control, to be nice to that customer all the time, even though it's what Carmina teaches and is what we teach. So the idea is, again, just understanding how a positive attitude, it's kind of like, customers when it's a sunny day. Everybody's happy and, especially in Wisconsin here, if you got a sunny day, everybody's in a good mood. If it's a cloudy day, rainy day, everybody's kind of blah. It's kind of that way in your location. If you go into your company and you're in a good mood, hey, it's a sunny day at the company. If you go in and you're in a bad mood, it's kind of like, cloudy and rainy all through the whole company culture. And so you just have to be mindful of that. I think sometimes we get too much tied up in our day-to-day chores and our day-to-day duties that we forget to take care of our customers that way, and our employees more so even than the customers.
I'll say I worked retail for 20 years, bartending, waitressing, and sales. And I can say, if my boss was in a bad mood, I was probably not the nicest person. My sales probably went down a little bit.
Yeah.
I probably did things I wasn't supposed to a little more often.
I guarantee you probably did. Yeah.
And I'm lucky now because I work virtually. So I'll say the only time you can be a boss in a bad mood is virtually. Because my boss is in a bad mood all the time.
Yeah,
and I can just ignore him.
Yeah. So I think
Just
that's
kidding, he's right here. He's right here.
I think that
He's always in a good mood. Derek, you're always in a good mood.
No, but one of the things that I think about is even when a customer is in a bad mood,
Yep.
right? I always think one of the most challenging jobs is being a cashier
But
because
as a
you
cashier,
can't walk.
you can put up a wall though.
But
to
you
the
can't
customer
walk
because they're
away
used to
though
it.
if somebody knows it. If I'm in a bad mood and I'm a customer and you're a cashier, I can say anything I want to you.
But with the boss, you can't put up a wall. With the customer, when I did retail, I could put up a wall.
Right.
Like, I can't put up a wall with my boss. Like, I
Well-
have to take on his bad mood and I have to listen.
Well, what you do is you avoid them, right? You avoid the boss when they're in a bad mood. So then the communication is cut off because I'm not going to go. The boss is in a bad mood. I don't want to go in there. He or she's in a
Yeah.
bad mood. You know what I mean? So if we really want to have that, and really, we might be talking about being on stage. We might be talking about
Yeah.
a boss being in a bad mood. We're talking about what kind of culture do you want to have in your business, right? And how do I want my employees? So the thing about a boss is that we're always worried about money. We're always worried about what's the net profit going to be. But what do we really have control over? We can value our customers, but we only see them once in a great while. If we value our employees, we see them all the time, and we have more time to influence them. So if we influence our customers and making sure that or our employees, and making sure they're being taken care of, then they take care of the customer, and the customer takes care of the profits of the business because they're customers of ours. So I think spending more time on taking care of the employees, or as much time taking care of our employees as we take care of our customers, serves us well as business owners.
Well, I always think, back to Carmina's on stage, the reason why I like this is because, you kind of do have to act your way
Oh,
through
yeah.
things. You have to act your way through a bad day as the boss. You have to put on a smile if you messed up a line and smile through it.
Right.
That's another thing that, I've been talking to people recently. Like, even on the phone, I was trained, smile on the phone because they can hear it.
No.
So smile your way, act your way through it is my tip, my advice
Yeah. And
to how to maintain your moods.
it comes through your voice, though, doesn't it? If you're in a good mood,
does.
if you're smiling, it comes through your voice.
Man, I can tell every time you call me in 2 seconds whether or not you're gonna ream me for something or you're gonna be nice.
You're in a bad. Well, that's because I haven't had my coffee yet. But after my coffee, I'm in pretty good mood. I think basically for the
What
most
time
part.
do you have your coffee? I'm not gonna answer.
Apparently not
calls
early enough when I
before-
talk to you, I
Before you
suppose.
call me now.
Yeah. No, but
Or just text me I've had my coffee and then I'll
and
answer
then we
your
can have a
call.
conversation. That works.
Yeah.
That works for me. So yeah, I've had that actually. I've had employees say that. So
Well, now
again,
I'm saying it. Why do you do that to me then?
well, I don't know. I think the idea here is we just have to be aware of ourselves as owners and as the boss.
Be aware that you are an
Exactly.
actor.
Yeah. People
You're an
look at
actor.
you differently. They know where you are in the location. They know where you are.
Yeah.
They know if you're on the shop floor. They know if you're up in the office. They know if you're over in the sales room. They know that. Why? Because they don't know where everybody is, but they
Yeah.
know where the boss is, and they're watching you, right?
Yeah.
Whether you're interacting with them or not, you're influencing them.
Well, we have 3 bosses in here. There's only one boss that is lucky that when he's in a bad mood, he can just turn off his chat.
Okay.
But the other 2, Carmina and Gary. Carmina, are you acting all the time?
All the time. And sometimes we're humans and we are in a bad mood, and you can see how
Oh, yeah.
you are putting a cloud over everyone.
You had toddlers at one point too. Like, you probably had to really smile your way through the
No.
day, through those temper tantrums.
Yeah. No, I think it's something that we really have to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Especially today, because we got more challenges than we ever had before, and we don't want to get
Yeah.
into all that negative stuff. But if we're in a good mood, everybody's in a good, despite what's happening outside the 4 walls of the organization, because you can't control that anyway, right? So you can control what's going on inside. You can control if you're going to be the happy person on stage, right? And I think you have to almost do that because who knows what's happening in the employee and the customer's world outside of the interaction you're having with them, because it's a challenge, right? And
Yeah.
if you're always in a good mood, people gravitate to you. We gravitate to people we like. We work with people we like. We talk longer to people we like. It's just that way.
Yeah. So apparently we gotta wrap this meeting up because my boss has a meeting with some guy. His name's Gary, so we gotta wrap this up.
He'd blow him off. Blow him off.
I told him to blow him off.
Go for it.
As in Gary, it's this Gary, so sorry, Gary, he's gonna be late. But
is
anyways, let's wrap this up. There's more newsletters that Gary has on his website about the boss. There might be a couple about boss, how to keep your mood well, how to train people, right?
A
You
little
read
bit
lot.
about culture, a little
There's
bit
a little bit
about,
about
there's a
everything.
little, it actually is, it's kind of,
Yeah, the
kind
Swiss
of,
Army knife of business over
yeah,
here.
yeah. That's nice, but, you know, and I think the more information we get, the more different tidbits we get, the more it sticks in our head.
Yeah, yep.
You know, so just a little bit here, a little bit there, just to you know, as bosses, we still need that reinforcement, right? Because we get too much into our in the business versus on the business mentality.
Yeah. So get out of the business, check out Gary's newsletters.
Yep.
He's got every single one he's ever written on there. And you can sign up for his newsletter that gets out every month at guidantbusiness.com. So let's wave him goodbye, Gary.
All right, see you later.
Thanks,
Next
everyone.
time, right?